So if we have a diet that is low in inflammatory foods and we're getting plenty of omega-3, 6 and 9s and we're keeping out things like oils, these are the things that actually make us more sensitive to the sun. Hey folks, as the summer months are approaching in the Northern Hemisphere, I've been asked a few times about sun cream. Is sun cream safe for eczema sufferers to use? And if so, what's the sun creams that I would recommend? The first thing I want to say on this one is get your mind into a natural way of thinking about this. Think about sunshine and think about sunscreen. Which one of those things is natural? We were born into the world where sunshine is completely natural. Sun cream, on the other hand, is manufactured in a laboratory using chemicals. The general rule of thumb is not to put anything on your skin that is not edible, that you wouldn't be willing to eat. And as far as I'm concerned, most sunscreens are not edible. And I know that some sunscreens are designed not to be absorbed. They sit on the surface of the skin instead of being absorbed into the body. And you could argue that these are safer for people with skin conditions to use. However, I think there's a greater argument to not be using anything at all in the way of sunscreen. The most common advice we come across is to wear sunscreen of a high SPF factor, especially for people who burn easily. However, if we look at the figures over the last few years, we've gone up in terms of the incidences of skin cancer, and we've also increased the amount of sunscreen that we're using and decreased the amount of time that we're spending in the sun outdoors. So that tells you that the problem is a little bit more complex than it might first seem. Sunscreen can actually prevent us from being able to manufacture vitamin D properly in the body, even though we spend time in the sun. And the chemicals that are found in sunscreen have actually been associated with causing more problems, being more toxic to us than just simply being in the sunlight. Sunburn is actually a form of inflammation, so it's going to be affected by our diets. And if we are eating a diet free of oil and high in omega-3, 6 and 9s and antioxidants and anti-inflammatories and things like this, that's what's going to be the strongest thing, the most robust solution to this long term. In addition to that, I also recommend spending time in the sun and gradually building up a resilience to it. Different people are going to react in different ways. For me, I've got dark skin, so I can get away with a bit more than people with fair skin can. But I've worked up to that too, and over the past few years I've spent more and more time in hot countries, exposing myself to the skin, to the sun, and building up a resilience. So as the summer months arrive, don't be afraid to go and have some fun in the sun, improve that tan, improve that complexion, and if you're used to wearing sunscreen, you can start to wean yourself off it and just gradually adjust to, spending more time in direct sunlight. Obviously don't go crazy, and this is all just advice. You've got to do what you feel right doing, what vibes with you. But as far as I'm concerned, the sunshine improves our mood, gives us that deep golden complexion, and it's just natural for us to be out there enjoying the sunshine.